Hello everyone and welcome back to the Well Body Unlimited YouTube channel. Today we are going to go through a full body release. So we need a few props today. I'm going to get you set up and then we'll get started. We're going to use a foam roller. I prefer the smooth ones to the lumpy ones if you have it. We're going to use either a Pilates squishy ball or you can sub this for a fluffy pillow. We're going to use a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball and a tea towel, okay? So lots of props today. This is your, I'll say, DIY full body massage for times that your body might need a little more rest or encouragement towards rest. Now, we're living in my imperfect home right now. You're gonna meet my dogs. This is Harley. He's gonna go to bed, I do believe. That's great. So you guys, without further ado, once you have your props, your squishy ball or pillow, your foam roller, your lacrosse ball or tennis ball, and your tea towel, you can set those aside. And then we will begin lying down on our backs. So we'll do a little bit of gentle mobilization before we get into the release, just to encourage blood flow throughout the body. So you'll find your way onto your back. And let's just take a big breath in through the nose. A little hold at the top, and then a slow exhale through your mouth. We'll do that again. Breathe in through your nose. Hold. And a slow exhale through your mouth. One more big breath in through the nose. A hold. And through pursed lips, a gentle exhale through the mouth. We will start with an exercise that helps encourage the body into a more rested state. It's known as the basic exercise, and it was brought to the world through the lens of osteopathy and how the cranial nerves impact the whole body. This one is a very simple exercise. We lay flat as we are, and your head is going to be fully supported. You're going to keep your head still, and you're going to look with your eyes only over to the right side, and you're going to hold them here. And that's it. So keeping your eyes to the right, your head still. We're going to do 4 deep and slow breaths in and out. I will cue you. Your eyes should feel no strain while you're here, just to clarify. So we've got the eyes held to the right, but the head is just centered forward. Just finish your exhale, and we'll all go together. Inhale through the nose. Little hold at the top. Slow exhale. Keeping your eyes looking to the right. Inhale through the nose. Pause at the top. Slow exhale. 2 more breaths. In through the nose. Holding the eyes to the right. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more time. Inhale. Hold. And slow exhale through the mouth. And bring your eyes back just to look straight ahead. Take your eyes and look over to the left, keeping the head still. Holding the eyes to the left, you should not feel any strain, so make sure it doesn't hurt you to be here. The eyes connect to 30 different areas in your brain. So when we use them and strengthen them, we can target a lot of different spaces in the brain, which can be part of the reason why this has a relaxing effect on the body. So we'll take your breaths here. Finish your exhale that you're on. And then take a big breath in through the nose. Hold at the top. Slow exhale through the mouth. Keeping the eyes to the left, breathe in through the nose. Pause. And exhale through pursed lips. Keep the eyes to the left. Inhale. Hold. Exhale through the mouth. Do one more breath. Inhale through the nose. Hold the eyes. Pause here. And exhale through the mouth. Bring your eyes back to center. If your head came off center, take a breath in and recenter your head. And exhale. Your knees will be bent if they're not already. Feet are on the ground. Place your hands on the pelvis. We're going to go into some gentle pelvic tilts. Imagine you have a bowl of water on your pelvis here. And you're going to tilt the pelvis towards the rib cage like you're trying to pour a gentle stream of water towards your belly button. And then tilt your pelvis the other way, away from your ribs, like you're trying to pour out a little bit of that water from the pelvic bowl between the legs. And then roll the pelvis really gently towards the ribs, like you're spilling some water towards the belly button. And then roll the pelvis towards your thighs, like you're spilling water between the thighs. Let's roll back and forth at a pace that's really gentle. We are here to feel relaxed. And I like to say you should move your body the way you wish to feel. So if you're not yet relaxed, move in a relaxed pace. So your body can catch up with that pace or slow down to that pace. You'll notice as you do these pelvic tilts that your spine is sort of undulating or rippling in a wave-like pattern. Let that happen. You breathe in as you tilt one way, and you breathe out as you tilt the other way. Nice and gentle, nice and easy. And then just bring your pelvis back to a neutral position, the space where if you had that bowl of water, it would be level. Now we'll take your arms and we'll bring them up to the ceiling. Your palms will press together, kind of like a set of praying hands. Your lower body is relaxed and held still. Your upper body, we're going to roll just a little bit over till you feel you're landing on your left side shoulder blade. Notice if your right hip is lifting, we want the right hip to stay down. And then roll across the upper back and over to your right side shoulder blade. Notice if the left hip is lifting, we want to keep it down. We keep both sides of the hips down as we sway the upper body. Over to the left shoulder blade and over to the right shoulder blade. Let's think of this as a bit of a massage for the muscles between the shoulder blades. The arms stay straight. This is not a shoulder mobilizer, despite what it might feel like. This exercise is mobilizing the spine, kind of the space right behind the center of your chest is where we're twisting from. And maybe you can feel that. Your head sways along for the ride. Notice if your lower body is tensing, can you soften the muscles of your legs, your pelvis, your glutes? We'll do one more each side. Let this be kind of loosey-goosey to your best ability. Easy flowing. And then come back through center. Relax your hands down. Okay. Sorry to ruffle the microphone here. You're going to lift up your right knee. You're going to use your right hand to hold on top. Your foot can just dangle heavy. The left hand can go onto the floor as almost like a kickstand to support your balance. And you're going to use your right hand to stir this hip around in little circles. If you feel you can't reach the leg, pull it closer to you. The arm and the hand are doing the work. The leg on the right side, it's completely relaxed as you stir the hip around, kind of oscillating around the hip socket to send supportive fluid, synovial fluid it's called, the fluid of your joint, around at all angles to lubricate the hip joint. We're going to go the opposite direction now, stirring this hip around. Again, the leg muscles are as relaxed as you can get them so that this right hand can do the work to stir the hip around. We'll go 3 and 2 and 1. You're going to interlace both hands behind this right knee, and we're going to start to circle really slow ankle circles. Make sure the whole rest of your body is sinking heavy into the floor. You want these ankle circles to be smooth. So we slow them down, we smooth them out. Make sure your toes get a full point and a full flex. Let's go the other direction. Stay relaxed in your chest and shoulders. Stay relaxed through your left leg, your belly, your face. Smooth, slow circles for 2 and 1. You can set this foot down. Just take a moment here to compare the feelings that you might have that are different or the same between your right and your left legs. We stirred the hip around in circles and we circled the ankle around, and it's quite likely that that's made quite an impact on how you feel your limbs. I want you to make note of that. I call these the little big things because they're little actions that they make a big impact on how you feel. We're going to take a hold now of the left knee using the left hand. Your right hand will come to the floor as a kickstand. The left foot dangles heavy in space and the left leg is relaxed. And you'll use your hand to circle and stir this hip around. You might notice that your right and left hip have very different abilities, and that's completely welcome in this space. We don't need perfect symmetry to have a healthy body. We just need accessibility to, what we've got going on. So we stir this hip around however we can to keep it feeling smooth. And don't forget to breathe while you're here. Slow exhales really help the nervous system relax. So you can think about your inhales going through your nose. The exhales, make them last a little longer than the inhales, and you can exhale through your mouth or nose. Go the opposite direction here, circling the other way. As you breathe easy, we'll be here for 3 and 2 and 1. Interlace your hands behind this leg. Start to circle this foot around. Smooth circles. The rest of your body, let it weigh heavy on the mat. Be generous with how much body weight you let go into the mat. Make sure the foot gets fully pointed and fully flexed as you circle around. Let's go the opposite direction now. Just noticing the warmth that you might start to feel around the foot and the ankle, all that blood flow moving around. Okay, and then set the foot down and pause here. Arms can go out to your sides with the palms up. Just notice if you feel any extra sensations through left and right, or maybe you feel a closer sense of symmetry between your legs. Let your knees spill over to the right. Come back to center slowly. Let them spill over to the left. Come back to center. The knees will spill right, the head will turn left. Relax the body fully here. Can you relax a little more here? A little more. Soften your shoulders. And then bring it back to center. Spill your knees over to the left. Turn your head to the right. Relax fully here. And then notice if there's anything else you can relax a little more, undoing any layers of tension. Relax the shoulders, relax the hips. We're not pushing, we've just kind of fallen here. And then come back to center. Okay. You're going to roll over onto your side so that you can slowly and calmly press yourself back upright to seated. We're going to start to play with our toys here. So the first thing we'll use is the tea towel. You're going to take it. I'll show you from square one. We're going to fold it in half. Okay, so we fold it in half here. And then turn that sideways. And what we're going to do is roll it up into a little sausage. So you're going to roll it up nice and tight. We're going to do a release up the spine first. We're going to work on the right side first and then the left side. So we take our time with this one. What we're going to do is lay down the tea towel, or now your sausage roll, to the right side of your mat a little bit. And we're going to lay down on it so that the towel is, if the spine's down the center, the towel is just on the right side of it. It's going in between your shoulder blade and your spine and then down the spine. So meet me there. Find your way. You might have to try a few angles to see what feels right. But I will say, once you get yourself down, you'll feel lopsided. That's intentional. So be okay with that. You might need to kind of snuggle in like you're a bear scratching your back on a wall. And then we're going to stay here. Take a big breath in through your nose. And out through your nose or mouth. And then I'm going to ask you to start to wiggle your toes. In no particular order, but just moving them. You wiggle the toes. Wiggle the toes. Wiggle the toes. Relax the toes. You can hold your arms up or you can have the elbows on the ground. You're just going to start to circle the wrists. Open hands, gentle circles, slow circles of the wrists. Let your breath flow easily. You can circle the wrists the other way, circling the hands around that wrist joint. Open hands for now. Okay. Take your hands onto your pelvis. We'll do a few pelvic tilts again, just like we started. You're going to roll the pelvis towards the ribs, and you're going to feel that low back kind of smush into the towel on that right side. And then roll the pelvis towards your thighs. You'll feel that ease up a bit, but maybe the upper or mid back gets a little more attention. Roll the pelvis towards the ribs. And then the thighs. Sorry, excuse me. Wherever you're watching this from, it is allergy season here in Ontario, Canada, and I am victim to it. So pardon my sneeze here. We're just doing pelvic tilts, rolling the pelvis towards the thighs, towards the ribs. One more time each way. And then settle back just through a neutral pelvis. Take a big breath in. And an easy breath out. I'm going to ask that you take the towel out from behind you and then lay flat on your back. And just notice. Notice what you feel between your right and left side. We're allowing fresh blood flow to come up the paraspinal muscles, the muscles that run up and down the spine on that right side. You might also feel a little more relaxed up the right side. Notice that. Enjoy it. And then we'll do the other side. Roll to the side to get up. It's the most relaxing way to get your body off the ground. And then we're going to rejuvenate the towel because it gets a little smushed. You might hear my dog barking in the background. I think my partner is getting home from work. Can all say hi to Sam soon. The towel will go on the left side of your spine now. So it's the same thing, but at the other side, we'll lay down on it. Make sure the towel is between your shoulder blade and your spinal column, or your vertebra. Spinal column's deep inside that. All right. I'm thinking spinal cord. The column is the vertebra. So snuggle yourself down onto this towel. Make sure it's positioned in a way that feels like it's beside your spine. We don't want to feel like it's pressing into any bony structures. And then it'll feel a little lopsided at first, but you may have noticed last time that it started to dissipate in how it felt in terms of lopsidedness. So we'll watch that magic happen again. This time, we're going to walk our feet a little closer to the bum, and you're just going to lift your heels up, and then you're going to push your heels down, and then lift your heels up, and push the heels down, kind of like you're trying to squish the mat with your heels. Lift them up, and squish them down. And then just gently lift and lower. No more squishing. We want to take away tension now. Just lifting and lowering. Maybe you can sync up your breath with your lifts and lowers here. You could inhale as you lift your heels. You could exhale as you set them down. We'll do one more. Lifting and lowering. And then just relax the feet wherever they feel comfortable. You're going to make fists with your hands, and now we'll gently circle the wrist with your hands and fists. You can circle your wrists the other direction. Take a big breath in, easy breath out. And then you can relax your hands and just twinkle the fingers around a little bit. Get them moving, stretching them out. And then place your hands on your pelvis. We'll do a few pelvic tilts. Roll the pelvis towards the ribs. You're going to feel it press into the towel. And then roll the pelvis towards your thighs. You'll feel it lift off the towel a little bit on that low back, but maybe the mid back takes a bit more. And we'll just do 2 more each direction. Rolling pelvis towards the ribs and towards the thighs. And 1 more each way, pelvis to ribs and to thighs. And then bring it back just through a neutral space. Take a big breath in. An easy breath out. We're going to take the towel out from behind you and then just lay flat again on your back. Knees can stay bent and just notice the changes, the warmth and the blood flow that's welcoming itself right to the spine. Should feel quite nice to be here. Take a big breath in. And an easy breath out. Roll over to your side again. We're going to switch tools. So we're done with the tea towel. Press yourself up. You can set it aside. And we're going to use our squishy ball next. If you have one, it's a great option. And if you don't, you can make do with a fluffy pillow today or something soft. If you have like a deflated kind of soccer ball, or if you have kids and they've got something like it, you can definitely use that. But we're going to do a release for the abdominals. I will say, if you're watching this and you are pregnant or menstruating, this is something you're going to want to skip by. If you struggle with any abdominal hernias that are unresolved, you're going to skip past this one as well. If it brings up any discomfort of any other reasons, please skip past this one. But if you qualify for this one, you're going to stay with me on it to release through the front of the core. We're going to lay on the ball on our tummies. So it's not a comfortable one, I'll be honest with you, but it is impactful. So you're going to lay down onto your stomach, onto the ball, I should say, in a sphinx position up on your forearms. And then you're just going to rock side to side. There's a ton of muscles layered up around your core and all your organs here. And there's a bunch of connective tissue called fascia that plays with all of them, the organs and the muscles. And it can get a little tangled up sometimes. Every movement we do every single day has some sort of involvement and connection to the core. And so it can get kind of bullied around if you have any tension in any other places. You want to make sure that you're not on any bones here, so you're not pressing into your ribs or your pelvis. If you find a spot that feels quite in need of release, not painful, but that kind of hurts so good feeling, that massage-like feeling, then you can stay there and breathe into it. Or you can keep the rocking back and forth, okay? So just giving yourself a moment here. If you struggle with any bowel troubles, this can be helpful. Wink, wink, and stimulating. But it can also help just relax any tension that might have been collected through inflammation of the abdominal and the pelvic organs. Use your intuition and your discernment here. Make sure that this feels safe for you to do. Okay. If you are using the pillow, it's not quite as impactful, but you could just hold still and breathe into it. And when you exhale, you really let the ball just kind of become part of you. This will release some attachments to your diaphragm as well, which can help increase breathing capacities and rib cage function. The diaphragm also has a lot of connection to your neck, your cervical spine, especially the lower cervical vertebra. If you have any pain in the back of your neck, it might be a good idea to lay on a ball or pillow and breathe into it here to hopefully relax the breathing muscles. Okay. If there's any lingering desire to stay on the ball, you can pause the video, but we've done plenty. You're just going to press yourself up off of it and notice all that blood flow returning to your abdomen. Just breathe into it and breathe out. Fantastic. And then we're going to be done with the ball. It's a quick story with the ball. If you've opted out of the ball, thanks for joining us again. We're going to work with the lacrosse ball next. If you don't have a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball is great. These are quite affordable lacrosse balls. They're not an overly expensive tool, and they work really, really well as kind of a pocket-sized massage therapist. We're going to work with your feet first, so this does require you to stand. So stand yourself up. And you may want to have a wall close by so you can use it for balance. You're going to put the ball underneath of one of your feet. And we're just going to kind of stroke the ball really gently. We're not putting a lot of pressure on. Just back and forth. You're going to go from your heel towards your big toe. And then you're going to go towards your heel and then your second toe. And then towards your heel and your third toe. You get the idea. Heel and fourth toe. And then heel and pinky toe. And we'll do that one more time. We go from heel to big toe. We go from heel to second toe. We go from heel to third toe. Back to heel to fourth toe. Back to heel to last little pinky toe. And then place the ball underneath the ball of your foot with the heel on the ground. And we're going to kind of wag the foot right to left over the ball. Let your toes relax. So you'll see them kind of like melting over the ball back and forth here. And you're just going to work through we call it the transverse arch of the foot, the arch that runs from big toe to little toe. Make sure that there's no tension there that might be causing you some trouble. Okay. And then you can stand flat on that foot for just a moment. Notice if you feel any differences between your right and left foot. It's quite likely you will. Your right foot should feel a little more relaxed. We're now going to work with the lacrosse ball underneath the left foot. So you place the ball underneath your left foot. And we're going to start those strokes. Light pressure, stroking from the heel to your big toe, to your heel, to your second toe, to your heel, to your third toe, heel to fourth toe, heel to fifth toe, and then we're going to go back heel to big toe, heel to second toe. We're going to go heel to third toe, drag it back to heel to fourth toe, and then heel to fifth toe. And then from here, you're going to put your heel on the ground and the ball will go underneath the ball of your foot where the toes just kind of relax and melt over top of it. And we're just going to sway or wave the foot over from right to left. So you're kind of fanning across to the big toe, to the little toe, back and forth. The heel is acting as a pivot point on the ground just to give you some support and stability. You don't by any means need to challenge balance right now because that will tense your muscles and we're here to try and release them. Okay, so we're back and forth here for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, A little bit more work with the ball. You are going to need a wall space for this. So find a space in your home that has a blank space on the wall. And we're going to massage the chest muscles. So this one's a bit awkward. You can work really nicely through a door frame if you have like a nice wide door frame so that you don't have to smush your face up against the wall. You could put your face in the open space beside the frame. What we're going to do is locate the collarbone from shoulder to collarbone here, the inner collarbone, sorry. And you're going to just think about the space right below it, kind of the soft part. It's on top of your ribs here, the soft muscle at the top, the chest muscle. And we're going to put the ball at the armpit side of the chest muscle. And we're going to come and lean into the wall pretty gently. You turn your head sideways so you don't bump your nose across the wall. And what we're going to do is just sway one side to the other, like you're transferring weight between your right and left foot. And we're rolling the ball between your armpit side towards the sternum or the breastbone side. Try to keep your arms relaxed and just hanging down here. This is a space that is chronically tight in a lot of bodies. And so it is a good idea to not skip past this one. If you're going to do anything with this video, don't skip past this one. Rolling back and forth. You're breathing easy. We're going to go 3. And 2. And 1. And then we're just gonna find the other side here. I'm just going to move this microphone so you don't get all muffled. But we're gonna find the ball right at the armpit side of the chest muscle, underneath the collarbone on the other side. And we're gonna lean into the wall here with the arm just hanging down. Turn your head sideways, sorry to look away from you. And we're gonna sway our weight between the right and the left foot, back and forth. Rolling the ball from the armpit side of your chest muscle towards the breastbone side of your chest muscle. Swaying back and forth. You might need to reposition the ball a couple times, but just taking your time passing across this muscle to work through any points of tension. You might find there's some spots that are a little more tender than other spots. Take your time through them. If at any point you need to pause this video to spend more time on a certain spot, please do. Your body work here means a lot to your body, and it does a lot to impact your health and well-being. Bringing blood flow to your muscles that might be tight can help rejuvenate them. It can help rebuild neural connections. And that means we can help repattern even the way that your joints flow when your muscles are more relaxed and working well with no knots or kinks in them. We also have a lot of your major lymphatic nodes around the collarbones, and so this can work really nicely to help reduce any inflammation in the body, any swelling, any fluid retention, as well as boost your immune system to flush out any toxins. Okay. Feel free to stay a little longer if you need to, but otherwise we're going to retire the ball now. We're going to play with our foam roller for the remainder of this class. So you can move your other props aside if they're in your space here. We're going to use the foam roller to release our glutes and our legs, and then we'll be done. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm just going to reattach this microphone. There is no movie magic here. And we're going to grab a seat on the foam roller. Okay? So, grab a seat on the foam roller, and you're going to kind of lean towards the left side bum. So the big meaty part of your bum on the left side is on the roller. The right side is off the roller. Okay? And you're down on your left arm. You might want to put your right hand on the roller or something to support that. I like to put it on the other side of the roller. And we're just going to roll up and down the glute And you might find some tight spots like I'm finding, so do your very best to go slow, to breathe through any discomfort here. Oof. And stay as relaxed, that's tough for me, as relaxed as possible. It's hard to do, but can you imagine your body kind of melting like butter or chocolate if you like a little sweet something? Isn't that just divine right there? If you find any spots, I'm finding quite a knot here. If you find any spots like that, you do want to just hold on it while it relaxes a little bit before you start moving again. Movement can almost tense them up more, so go slow over the spaces that feel a little more like the volume's been turned up. Whew. If you are not feeling much in your glute, congratulations. You don't have to feel discomfort here. That's actually great that you don't. So just enjoy that kind of refresh of blood flow and leave it be there. So celebrate what feels good. Okay, a couple more passes up and down the glutes here. And okay. We also don't need complete perfection. You'll come back to this video and do it again another time. So accept the little changes that happen to you. I still have a little tension through that glute, but it did get a little better in sensation, and that's what we're looking for towards progress. So now we shift our body over to the right glute. The left hand could go on the roller or on the ground. You decide what you feel most stable with. My right hand is acting like a kickstand on the ground. And then I'm gonna roll up and down the length of the right glute. Kind of, there it is, towards the top of the pelvis and then the sitting bone. You don't want to roll over top of any bones. It's not going to do any good service here. We're just looking to work with what we call soft tissue in the body. So kind of the cuts of meat you got there. You can breathe in and out as you're here. And again, if there's any spots that feel particularly intense or dense in the way that it feels, you're going to linger. You're going to hold. You're going to try and smooth it out. Oof. You're going to go back and forth a couple more times. Just a few more passes. And again, you can stay here longer if you're feeling like you're on to something. You're making some leeway here. But otherwise, I think we'll do one more each way, up and down. And then we'll move forward. And I will say the next part is the last and not least part by any means. We're going to release your quadricep muscles, which are the tops of your thighs. And this one, I do not wish upon my worst enemy. I don't mean that to scare you, but most of us hold a lot of tension in our quadricep muscles. And so there is some discomfort that might be welcomed in here. We want to make sure that we stay the length of the thigh. We don't want to go too close to the kneecap or too close to the hip socket. So what we're going to do, we're going to be kind. We're going to do both sides at the same time. If you're looking for a little extra torture, one side at a time is an option that you could take. What we're going to do is lay on the roller with the roller kind of on the mid thigh. So it's not at the pelvis and the pubic bones, it's below that. And your arms are, I'm just going to back up so I'm in frame here, but your arms are going to be down on the mat in that Sphinx position. Okay. And then we're going to army crawl with our arms forward till you get towards the knees, but not on the kneecaps. And then keep your glutes relaxed, keep your body relaxed. And we're going to roll backwards. And I really encourage you to take this one super, super slow, because you might notice that there's a lot going on in your quadricep muscles. You might not. I would love that for you. Stay as relaxed as you can. Through your shoulders, through your neck. If this doesn't feel good for your neck to be in this position, you could always just hold still on the roller and you can point and flex your feet. That certainly does good work too. Or if you have a rolling pin at home, you can actually roll out your quads sat in a chair, and you can use the rolling pin just like you would to roll out bread dough, and you would just roll out your thighs, keeping them as relaxed as possible. Now, most people with low back pain have very tight quadriceps. So know that if you're feeling a lot of tension here and you're someone who suffers with low back discomfort, this can actually be something that really helps it over time. So we're not just doing this to hurt you. In fact, we're not doing it to hurt you at all. If it hurts, take a breather, okay? But we want to just soften up some points of tension here. We'll do one more stroke towards the knees. And then, back towards the thighs, the tops of the thighs. And then let's get you off this roller. Okay. Set the roller aside. We're going to finish lying down on our backs. Take your time to get there. Take a big breath in. An easy breath out. And let your knees knock towards each other to let them relax and rest with each other. The feet can heel toe wide. Maybe let your arms relax out to the side or across your abdomen. You can close your eyes. Just feel how you feel. Hopefully you're feeling some fresh blood flow coming in through your thighs, through your quadricep muscles, through your torso, your core. If you feel good to lengthen your legs out long, that's an option here as well. Finding the yoga pose of Shavasana, or corpse pose they call it. We're just lying on your back. It's my hope that you feel well loved on, well released, and very relaxed at all angles and points of your body. Thank you for working through any discomforts and releasing them in this class today. You can stay lying here and breathing slow for as long as you wish. Or you can rest here knowing you've done enough. Let's take one last big breath in together. And an easy breath out.